This is the video we've all been waiting for. Shakedown got to play NBA 2K23 and had an amazing view on many different aspects of the gameplay for 2K23. So we're going to get into that and some other things as well. Welcome back, Plug Nation. You already know, like, waste any time. So whatever you got to do, make sure that like button is blue. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let's get right into the news. Guys, I'm going to have a 2K23 giveaway in this video. To enter to win a free copy of NBA 2K23, all you gotta do is drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below what is the best 2K of all time in the comment. Guys, this is the most excited I've been to make a news video so far. Shakedown was able to play the game and dropped an amazing review on it. So I wrote down every single thing he talked about in the video, and that's what we're gonna get into right now. So he played on PS5 next gen. He said no builder info, got his face scanned, so they're probably still going to be doing that crew type thing. He spent time with Mike Wang and gave him feedback. Mike Wang is the gameplay director that chooses like if whites are going to go in too much or not enough, all that type of stuff. And I was like, okay, this might not be the review I thought we were going to get, and then it was way better than I thought. This man gave so much information. He said couldn't tell a difference between quick first step. The speed boost wasn't all that fast. So that's interesting right there. It looks like they have slowed down the gameplay. Now, not everything was good, but some of the things were really good. Some of them were concerning. We'll talk about it after because we have so much. He said when you get a green, it delays the green animation that quote unquote adds suspense. That's what he said. It adds suspense. Now, he said an exclusive thing that nobody knows yet is that there's a new dunk meter. No longer a big circle. It looks like the jump shot feature. Changed button commands. He said he couldn't figure it out, and neither could anyone else. So I'm guessing it's harder to do than it was last year. And it also looks like the jump shot meter that I've showed you guys, the new jump shot meter in detail, what it looks like. So that is very, very interesting. Is it going to be harder? Because like I told you guys, it's not hard at all on 2K22 next gen. It's not really a skill gap thing because almost everyone can time it right, and it gives you dunks that you wouldn't normally get. So you can time it easily, and it gives you dunks like it's kind of a bailout. You know what I'm saying? So they do need to make it a bit harder next year, and I'm glad that they've changed it out. He said post fades felt really nice. So I don't know, you know, Jordan is on the cover, Devin Booker is on the cover, they'd both, you know, be hitting them post fades. So that's what he said. Noticeable aspect is that on ball defense 1v1 gave him high hopes for perimeter defense this year. Now, of course, he is playing play now, and people don't have the best signature styles and best dribble moves, and you know, there's so much that can change from this info that we got. So don't take this as, oh, 100% blah blah blah, but this was huge to me, a noticeable aspect. He made sure to say that the perimeter defense was much better. He said felt like defense was really strong and not as much offensive cheese. So you couldn't cheese as much as you did in 2K22, which is really interesting. But like I said, keep in mind, this is without my players having the best dribble move in every category, best dunk packages, all that stuff. But so far, that is sounding very good. Now, this is what was a little bit concerning, and he said it as well. Closeout speeds on jump shots was too fast. You would see someone open, and then it would get contested from far away. So it seems like Ghost Contest or something similar to that is back into the game where you're basically wide open and then it just gets contested out of nowhere. He said the game speed felt slower. Now, usually what 2K does when they make the game speed slower is they'll change it around 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the game coming out because the community does complain about the gameplay being too slow. And I would say that I do like the gameplay to be fast, but usually when they go slower, that means they're trying to make the game more realistic. So maybe that's what they're trying to do this year. They're going with more realism over more arcade. But anyway, he said jump shot speed felt slow. But keep in mind, we don't have custom jump shots yet. We can't put it to 100% release speed. So that might not be a big deal at all. It probably won't be. He then again brought out the closeout speeds and said jump shot closeouts were fast, but you can still green. So that means you can probably green contested when timed right. If Mike Wang did this correctly, that's amazing. For example, say you're Kevin Durant, you know what I'm saying? You're shooting over someone, it's a 10% contested shot, your green window should go down. You shouldn't have the same chance of greening it if you're wide open. But if you still time it correctly, you should be able to green most of those shots. It's real life basketball, you know what I'm saying? 10% is gonna be harder, but if you have Hall of Fame shooting badges, you should be able to make those shots if you time them correctly. The next thing he said is jump shot speed might not be a concern with the custom jump shots, like I said. Then he said left stick dribbling was a little overpowered overpowered. Now that kind of scares me because yes, he did get flown out by 2K. He's not going to say left stick dribbling was awful and this is really bad. So was it really a little bit? I'm not sure. But as you guys know, left stick dribbling is OP like every single year. You don't even really have to touch your right stick that much if you don't want to win 70-80% of your games. Now when you're playing like elite competition, you know, you're probably gonna have to use that right stick a bit more, but for park gameplay, you can really just left stick dribble, and he said it's overpowered. So that's something that scares me. But then he said right stick hands up defense had little change to a shot, which he said might need fixed. Now keep in mind, let's give it the perspective that yes, the demo is most likely on rookie or pro, like a very low difficulty, because not necessarily shakedown, but a lot of people that are flying out like NBA players and stuff probably aren't that good at the game, so they know that they should make the difficulty a little bit easier so it's more fun, right? They don't want to have to be playing and working for them points on Hall of Fame, so most likely the demo was on a low difficulty. But he was saying that the catch and shoot shots is the big issue with this. So what I'm getting from that is that, let's say you have Magic Johnson with Hall of Fame Dimer, you can Hall of Fame dime to someone in the corner or something and shoot straight over them, and the AI doesn't react enough to be able to get a good enough contest to make someone miss, and you can still green over it. So that could be a difficulty thing, but that does scare me at the same time. If you're playing park and stuff, you're going to be user control, but for the people that play my team and all that, that could definitely be an issue next year. He said pretty much everyone can chase down block last year, but not this year. So chase down blocks were a bit overpowered on dunks especially, but that was the best thing about paint defense. So I would say if you're being an honest 2K gamer, you can say that chase down blocks on dunks were overpowered, unless, you know, you were getting spammed by quick drops off 1 and 2 and stuff, which were the most overpowered dunk. Like besides that, chase down blocks on dunks were very overpowered, but paint defense was horrible. So it was something that kind of made up for it. So I would like to see chase down blocks be more realistic next year if they made paint defense better. You see what I'm saying? It needs to make sense. It has to be fair in all the other categories, like standing layups, where you can just stand there and shoot up a layup and it says open or 5% and it easily goes in when the guy's hands up and he's jumping, punching you in the face like Fight Night round 3, and it still says it's open, but you can get a chase down from the 3-point line and the guy's already dunking the ball. You see what I'm saying? So like, if they did make paint defense better, I'm completely fine with that. I do want to see it be nerfed, but only if they made paint defense better. I wanted to make sure I got that out there because yes, that would be a shame if we got like the same paint defense from 2K22 and they only made chase down blocks worse, which would obviously make it even worse than 2K22. So hopefully Mike Wang was smart enough to figure that out right there. I'm sure he was. He said it felt way more realistic than 2K22 felt, and then again he said it feels more realistic. So he did say that the gameplay was slower, and he said it felt more realistic. So it's literally what I said. Usually when 2K tries to go more into the realism category, because you have to have realistic and arcade at the same time. You can't have no arcade or no realism. You can't go both ways, right? Because if you have too much realistic, like 90% realistic, well then you're able to hit 100%, you know, smothered shots every single game, because Steph Curry hits 100% smothered shots. So you would be expecting play shots to hit 100% every single game. You're going to see one go in once a game. You know what I'm saying? In a park game to 21, you're going to see 100% go in every game. And that's not what we want, right? You want arcadey to where the game rewards you for getting open. You have a much higher chance of making the shot if you're open, and also rewards you for timing that shot correctly. So of course, both ways it's going to do that, but the more arcadey you go, the more it's going to do that. And if you go like 90% arcadey, you're never going to make contested shots at all, because it's going to be arcadey. It's going to be all about your timing and being open. So you have to find a sweet spot in the middle, which is very hard. One of the best things that 2K has done in the last few years in terms of like balancing arcade and realism, to me, was 2K20. It was a pretty damn good balanced game offensive wise. There's many different builds you could use. Yes, the hop step cheese was bad. Yes, post scores, you know, stuff like that. It wasn't perfect, but it was a pretty decent balance between realism and arcade to me. Now I've played 2K since like 2K8. You guys might have a different opinion than me, but I'm just saying like 2K19 was too arcadey. You see what I'm saying? Because you had stretch bigs that were able to hit 40% contested greens at the very start of the game with no takeover, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They were able to dex on the inbound and hit crazy shots. That's not what you want, or at least that's not what I want. So 2K20 was like the perfect balance. Not perfect necessarily, but pretty close to that. So thanks to Shakedown and obviously 2K for flying him out, this was huge. I did not expect this at all. I'm sure you guys can literally just hear my excitement because this is great. Some guy that knows what he's doing. Many years of experience playing 2K, able to give us an opinion on what he's seen. Now keep in mind, like I said, it is most likely on rookie or the next one up, which I think is pro. So a lot of these things can be much different when you get the game if you are a park player and you have the best drill moves on, best dunk packages, all the right badges in the right in the right spot, stuff like that. That's a lot that's going to change. Now, when the gameplay comes out, it might be slow and they'll probably speed it up like they do pretty much every single year. So it really just depends. There's no perfection on gameplay. People need to know this, and they also have to hear this right here. Every year, there's something where right now, the new game is about to come out. We've officially played this game and figured out all the bugs and glitches and exploits, and we know that, for example, the #1 complaint is paint defense being horrible and why it's going in too much. 2K21, you had the speed boost glitch and you had Zins. 2K20, very good, but we still had the hop step glitch, the hop dunks and all that type of stuff. So like that was the lowest one. 2K19, we had pushing, stretch big, shooting 40% contested. There's always going to be something. In 2K19, you also had the Euro step layups. In 2K18, you had the snatchbacks and blow-bys. You could run into someone and either blow by them and get a dunk, or snatch back and have a shot, or create enough space to where the defender has to play up and then you can run by them, stuff like that. 2K17, I don't think had that big of an issue in the gameplay. We did have unstoppable ankle breakers, which is basically like tight handles. If you guys have been watching the videos, I said I don't think tight handles should be in the game. Now, what I mean by unstoppable ankle breakers is if they're going to have ankle breakers like we had in the past, trust me, I'm a dribbler, I want ankle breakers to be back, but they have to make sense. There was so many times, 2K19, 2K17, tight handles in this game, you're playing perfect defense. You have clamped someone up. You are playing literally perfect. The best defender on 2K League lockdowns, people that get paid to play the game for a living. They could not do any better. In that scenario, that one play right there, you played perfect and you still get broke, or you still get tight handled and frozen. That can't be in the game. The ankle breakers have to make sense, and it will also look better when it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? 2K16, I can't really say there was that many issues with the gameplay, but as you guys see what I'm saying, every year there's going to be something. It's about fixing what we got, working on what we got, upgrading from what we have right now, or nerfing what we have right now, like nerfing the chase down blocks, nerfing why it's going in too much. There's many things we can do. So shout out to 2K. Hey man, fly me out. Let me test the builder. You're letting Shakedown, who is a very experienced player, I love this, test out the game. Let me, who's very experienced with the builder, and I got a 90+ win percentage every single year on 2K. I know what I'm doing. I can find cheese. Let me try out the builder. Let me try out some park gameplay. Let me go through all the signature styles and dribble with them and see if there's like a left-right cheese or super speed boost, and we can fix that before the game comes out. 2K, I will pay you. You don't have to pay for my flight, my hotel, my whatever it is, gas, food. I will come there at my own expense. I will pay you to be able to test the game out. So if you're hearing this, fly me out. I will sign an NDA where I can't talk about it if you guys don't want me to, as long as I can help make the game just a tiny bit better before it comes out. I would love to be a part of that. So 2K, please do that for me. And anyway, it's your boy Bashbug. You've been plugged in. Drop a like if you hadn't yet. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. You might as well enter in the giveaway. Click one of these two videos. Do you want 2K23 for free? Just enter in the giveaway. Anyway, it's your boy Bashbug. You've been plugged in. Click on one of these two videos. Turn on notifications. Select all with that bell. And I'm out. Peace.